gang. And once they break the corruption of that oil sector, there's likelihood that so many others will follow suit. If I be that kind of billionaire, here you get. But somebody said I can't, because I said it myself. I'm just saying that in a scenario where his money is clean, but his money is not. It's not. He is as greedy as the criminal politicians that he has been giving money to secretly, so as for them to gain power, have access to power, so that they can protect his business. That's one thing somebody said about the Nigerian elites, that they will learn. A lot of them believes that following Tinubu, that whatever he does or whatever he sort of tries to do to you, they are going to be immune from it. It won't affect them. Tinubu is publicly campaigning that people should go and join CNG, go and buy CNG, go and convert to CNG. Where that go to get refinery? I know that one is already falling apart on the side though, but we'll come to that. But if your money is clean and you are not a quota system billionaire, if I happen to be that kind of a billionaire, I can break the entire market, suspend profits. Yeah, suspend profits. Just, you know what? Or he's likely going to get some of other monopoly he enjoys revoked. And they will pull the plug on him. The privilege of standing as a guarantor for him wherever he's taking different kind of loans all over the world, that's sort of, that could be the, you know, the deal breaker for him. Like, or better still, stop trying to sell to Nigerian markets if the whole arrangement is to get you out of the business. Why not? Why not just then just face other African countries and stop talking about Nigeria? Just tell them to come and buy from you, even though that too, you are going to need the support of the government as well. Especially if you are a real target for Tinubu and his gang, there is no way out of it. But suspend profits. If you are a real, true billionaire, not a quota system billionaire, a political billionaire, tell me what I said is not possible. You tell me. Now, I'm not saying like for Dango, I'm just saying that if he is not a corrupt establishment billionaire, if his money is actually clean, tell me what I said is not possible. Do you think that's not possible? It is 100% possible. Is at the refinery already? Here you get. It's got a debt to pay, fine. But he's got the refinery already. Stop asking. Initially, he said NNPC will determine how much he's going to sell. Remember, he said that. And he won't tell us how much he was going to sell it until they exposed him and said his product is expensive. He now came out and said, well, I'm selling it for 990 naira. 990 naira, Dangote, you did mad. So if you sell it to marketers for 990 naira, how much do you think they will sell it to Nigerians if they finally, lift the product to different parts of Nigeria? It won't be less than 1,000 to 1,500 naira. So that's it. So what then is your argument? If somebody says they want the import to, they can sell for 1,200, 1,300, 1,100. So what's your argument? And they should come and buy your own. Oh, my argument is that the one they are importing is adulterated. You said so. They have been importing adulterated, dangerous product into Nigeria, and they have been making the blood money all this while. So what are you offering in exchange for that? Expensive, clean one, and that shit-hole contraption. That is not a clean argument in this case. You have to give more. You still want to make so much money. then you are probably not a real businessman or a real billionaire. A real billionaire will know that you are a billionaire, right? You will cut your cost in this case and break the entire market and watch how the people will be on your side. I mean, we have seen billionaires who lost half of their money, then they regain it back. I mean, so if you are a true genuine businessman, a genuine billionaire, not a quota system billionaire, a political billionaire, come on. You could break the entire market and say, you know what, guys? I'm just saying. But it may never happen. So, Wale Edun once told us, I'm supposed to go and look for the video as well. It's a video where Wale Edun said they have given 500,000 students over 90 billion student loan. Africa Wahala. Do you remember that day? When Wale Edun said they gave 500, I'm going to go and look for the video. I don't know why I always leave all this behind instead of adding them from the onset. Here you get. So I'm going to go look for it. Here is the latest data. I don't know if this data is real, but now NELF, the body that is giving out student loan, they claim that they have shared hang in there for me for a second, okay? That they have shared 11 billion. Wale Edun said they have given Nigerians 25,000 naira to 25 million Nigerians. And they have also given 500,000 students over 90 billion naira student loan. Do you remember that? Don't worry, you don't rush. I'll bring you the evidence in a minute. It's loading. And I remember saying that this guy just a drop figure. Like he was just dropping kind of figure. Like it doesn't Nigeria get number problem. Remember that time? So when I saw these guys yesterday, NELF, that claims that 98 institutions in Nigeria and 105,000 students have been given 11 billion naira. I just went back to that video of Wale Edun. Okay, let me play the video for you again. You remember I told you that he was lying? Now we don't know who is lying. Shane and NELF they lie. Abi Wale Edun.
And there is going to be released today details by the federal government through the Ministry of Finance and of course in conjunction with the central bank, a initiative, a program starting today, 31st of October, and lasting 9 months that will allow people to bring in cash that is outside the banking system. So therefore it is unsafe, it is unsecure, and it is outside of legal limits. They will be allowed without any, they will be allowed forbearance to bring those funds, dollars, to bring dollars cash. Let me emphasize once again, it is to bring dollars that they are holding outside the system to be able to bring them in and credit it to their bank accounts. And as long as it is not proceeds of crime, illicit money, there will be no taxes, there will be no penalty, there will be no taxes, there will be no questions. They just meet the normal know your customer criteria of banks, and they are free, and they have an opportunity to bring in those funds, make them safe, make them secure, and make them available through normal economic activity. And of course, we know, and I reported, that in terms of the direct benefit and direct help to the general public, of course, there was wage award at first, now there's the new minimum wage. There is direct transfers to the people on the social register that has been put together by all levels of government and is being verified. And so people are paid after they have been uniquely identified biometrically, and they are paid digitally through a bank account or mobile wallet. And those payments have been rolled out. We have reached 5 million households, 25 million Nigerians, and first and second payments are being made. And that process of having a robust social register where you can reach people directly and help them with payments that allow them to now choose what their priority is and go and then deal with that priority is something that will be ongoing. A society always needs to help its poorest and its most vulnerable, no matter, because relatively you're always going to have people who need help. The consumer credit scheme to allow workers to be able to pay for things over time, to be able to afford various goods, including CNG kits, to convert their car to a cheaper form of fuel. In the last 11 days, or in the last 5 days, I should say, 11,000 beneficiaries have received 3.5 billion naira. So that's an ongoing rollout of consumer credit to help people to make things more affordable to the worker. Of course, the student loan scheme has reached over 500,000 students, and it has disbursed over 90 billion naira. And that is to the students for their fees, to the institutions for the students' fees directly, and then to the students for their upkeep. So, and it's interest-free loan. So that, of course, is providing access to higher education to so many who otherwise would not afford it. And as I mentioned earlier, the CNG initiative to provide a cheaper source of fuel for fueling mass transit and even personal vehicles is ongoing. In addition to that, we all know that food is critical, and we all know about the increased cost of food at this particular time. And it's a question of affordability and availability, and it's all about supply. So there are two ways that that is being confronted. First of all, we do have a short-term program for millers to bring in raw materials.
These are the kind of people we are dealing with. It's supposed to be an elderly man, lying heads, useless old men, useless old women, following a druggie, bunch of graduates, 419ers. The people that will also ask you to respect them. You need to respect us, the elders. How can you respect liars? Who are not straightforward, who are like, once they open their mouth like this, na garbage. See, na nonsense, they come out of the mouth. And you are seated there, you're like, what the hell is this man talking about? Like, what are you doing? So, if you're a student and they give you money, look, we know 500,000 students, 500,000. They also gave 25,000 naira to 25 million households. That is 625 billion naira. Rror. And then these ones came out. I remember that day and I said, but the guy who went on TV then said they've shared 10 billion now. How come this whole thing don't turn to another? I said, well, so now they said they've shared 11 billion, 105,000 students. All of them are students, we don't collect money. You better come out. 98 institutions. See? Yeah? They are unbelievable. And I remember saying that if all these things were actually really true, they will be impactful, a lot of impact. They will make a lot of impact on the people. No joke. So I saw them now defending their CNG, this, CNG, that. Because Malaysia says they are now phasing out all this their CNG project in Malaysia for public safety reason. Because according to them, they would rather let their people, drive a CNG-enabled vehicles than all this conversion. Then I have seen one of Tinubu's dogs on social media, that one that was crying because they didn't make him, Shegun, Adeshegun, Dio Shegun or something like that. I mean, that's his name, I think. That idiot is on Twitter right now defending this story. That what they are saying, what Malaysia is saying is that they want to phase out the vehicles that are converted to CNG because they are already nearing the end of their lifespan. But have you seen somebody who just bought a brand new vehicle in Nigeria and then decided to go and change it to CNG, gas? How many new vehicles do you have do you even have in Nigeria? The people that are buying the latest cars in Nigeria, brand new cars in Nigeria, they are politicians. And then maybe your elite. The rest of you, no be a local you they buy. No be tokumbo na they buy. Are those downfall, what do you call it? Those Kurupe and all of them, are they brand new that you are converting them to CNG? Are the vehicles you are converting to CNG, they ask you to convert to CNG in Nigeria, are they not used vehicles? Is that not the concern, the public safety concern? Malaysia said that some of they are phasing out their CNG conversion because the cars have become old and they were petrol, diesel before. So they have become like dangerous and they are exploding like anything. So, which means, for example, let's say you have a car and this car happened to be 20 years old. And they say, you know what? You can't drive them anymore because you've converted them to CNG anyway. So they've reached the last date of their... Meanwhile, in Nigeria, you are still driving 20 years old car, 30 years old. Year 20, you will see 2005 car. Year 2000 and year 2000 car. Because they've already used it in Europe, all over the place before they bring them to Nigeria anyway. So is that not the public safety, supposedly public safety awareness or so? Now, where you see some of these, some of your vehicles in Nigeria are supposed to be off-road, by the way, like you shouldn't even be driving them anymore. But wait till you now go drive. If they say, okay, take all these ones off-road. When you see the cars they are using for transportation in Nigeria, they are not supposed to be on the road. And then constantly you convert them to CNG, put gas in the trunk. Nobody cares about your safety, but you should care about your safety. You should care about your own safety. You know? But they are defending it. They said it is not like Nigeria, what Malaysia is doing. Have you been to Malaysia? But you need to see Malaysia. I've not been to Malaysia myself, okay? But at least you can see Malaysia on your phone and see what the kind of cars on their streets, and compare that to the ones you have in Nigeria. See who is supposed to be facing it out. When these politicians are not converting their own latest cars to CNG, they're asking you to do the same. I wish you what you wish yourselves. So, and here is one useless elder who is who thinks he's talking to probably sane people when he's probably talking to himself in his own lunacy. 10 years ago, Donyo Kwigbe called Jonathan Christ like that. Jonathan was like a Jesus Christ. Today, Donyo Kwigbe is doing the same thing and saying that Tinubu is Jesus. It's not even saying that Tinubu is like Jesus. Tinubu is Jesus Christ that has come to save Nigeria. Because everybody will give this useless man food. Is a Jesus Christ to him.
I'm about to say, in this country, we have an agreement. North will do 8 years, South will do 8 years. Buhari did not do well. We were not crazy. We did not fight. We did not raise anything. He did his 8 years. But Tinubu is doing well. He's going to do his 8 years. If God spares his life and he wants to do so.
If Nigerians decide so.
Nigerians will decide so because
how are you
well.
sure?
I am sure.
You are not the totality of the Nigerian population, Dr. Okupe.
Nigerians
can you speak for the over 200 million Nigerian people?
Nigerians are reasonable, sensible people, not demanding too much from their leaders. If Bola Tinubu gives us light in 2027, if Bola Tinubu resolves this fuel crisis and this food crisis between now and that time, you will see people will go on the street and say, is Bola or nobody?
I'm very sure that you're very good friends on social media, whom you always engage with, the tirade and all of that we see. They will come after you. And when they do, you know what they at some, there was a very viral statement. They coined one word, they said T-pain. That was what they...
T-pain. And when this useless man, right, this very sick ex-convict will respond, he said, T-pain means temporary pain. This lady was arrested yesterday. And I remember telling you about it, right? In Sokoto. She's arrested for embarrassing the governor. That's her offense. Embarrassing the governor. Meanwhile, in Sokoto State, right now, a new terrorist group, a very deadly one, has now emerged. They are called Lakurawa, Abilakurawa, Abilakurebe. The Lakurawa terrorist group are reported to be deadlier than Boko Haram, ISWAP, and Fulani terrorists combined. This Lakurawa, Abilakurawa terrorists, they go straight into people's homes, kidnap women, children, rape them. They want Sharia all over Nigeria because according to them, their religion mandates them to rape, defile, and even kill anybody they suspect to be an infidel. Sokoto State is supposed to be the caliphate of Uthman Dan Fodio, whose great-grandson is the current Sultan of Sokoto, the leader of Muslims in Nigeria. Do you know that? Don't deny it. Sultan, the grandson of terrorist Fodio, is the leader, supreme spiritual leader of all Muslims in Nigeria. Yes. And in that place, a terror group has emerged who want Sharia all over Nigeria, or everybody go die. They go kill all of us. We either accept it or we die. So you'd have to kind of like brace up. Nigeria is a place where they won't allow us to have our own gun. If not, if you say that to an American, I would say, okay, bring it on. Just come prepared. Because I have my gun. But in Nigeria, no. You will be arrested if you are found with any gun, even if it's licensed. while the terrorists in Nigeria walk about, move around in war weapons. I'm talking about machine guns given to them by their political sponsors. So I know some of you will be like, it's not going to happen. It will never happen. Sharia over Nigeria. Nigeria would rather break up. Okay. So I remember people telling me 10 years ago, they used to call people like us alarmists. You are just an alarmist. So stop talking like that. This thing can never get to South. If they try this nonsense they are trying in Northern, if they try it in Southern Nigeria, Nigeria will just break up. People will talk say they go break up Nigeria. If the terrorism comes to the southern part of Nigeria today, now them they pay ransom. And then they are asking themselves, how did we get here? Man, how did we get here? Like Alaye, we got